Oh, my God, I'm back. Wow. Wow. You almost kept me down, man. You almost did it. You almost did it. You almost did it, man. Wow. 2 months. 2 months, man. 2 months. Abe Link, shout out to Abe Link for a $5 donation right off the bat, man. Thank you, sir. It's good to be back. Trying to pick up right where I left off. I don't even know how to do this anymore. I'm not lying to you. I don't even know how to do this. I don't even have the thing set up really the way I want it set up. We're here, man. 2 months. 2 months. For those that don't know what happened, go ahead and check the video I posted yesterday. I explained it a little bit in detail. But yeah, here we are, man. 58 people in here. Thanks for being in here. I don't even know what I'm going to say. This feels weird. This feels weird, man. I thought it was never going to happen. Shout out to everybody in here. Run It Back Nation. We continue. We continue. Listen, here's what's going to happen. I've never done this in my life. I've never taken the high road. I've never in my life taken the high road. But what happened to keep the channel locked down for as long as it was, and who was responsible, does not deserve the airtime. So I'm not going to speak the name, and I'm going to do my best to not even bring it up. I'm going to do my best to act like nothing ever happened, and we're just back like we never left. But, welcome to Run It Back Philly. I don't need... Finish it, man. Finish it. Who's finishing first? Who's finishing first? Pause. Finish it. Where is it? I'm looking in the chat. I don't need... Kyle Close. Oscar Lou, your motherfucking intro. I don't need it. All right, man. Wow. Wow, here we are. All right, so where do we start, man? No, that beat they played on the new intro is a royalty-free beat from Canva.com. It came with the license. I absolutely cannot get copywritten for that beat. So here we go, man. Here we go. All right, so I just watched the Sixers versus the Spurs. Jordan, my man, thank you for that. I don't need... Do I still have my censor thing? There it is. I don't need your motherfucking intro. That's it, man. So Joel Embiid is an absolute superstar. I think Joel Embiid right now might be better than he's ever been. And in this game, what stood out to me most, even in his 30-point triple-double the other night, the thing that kind of we've been asking Joel Embiid to improve on his entire career so far has been passing out of the double teams. And one thing this dude's always going to do is put in the work. KDA, thank you for that, man. No fraud zone. None. Zero frauds allowed. The frauds can come above water for a short period of time, but they're always going to sink. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but listen, man, truth always comes to light. The good always wins. Good always trumps evil. The thing we've been asking Joel Embiid to improve on his whole career is passing out of the double teams. And the past couple of games, this dude looks like he's been, and I never question that he puts in work. Joel Embiid always puts in work, and he always improves. He's healthier right now than I've seen him in a long time. He looks like he's in better shape right now, better conditioning, all of that than I've seen him in a long time, especially, he had COVID and stuff, and it took him kind of a while to come back from that, I think. So you know what I mean? It took him a while. Big guy, 7 feet, 280. Took him a while after COVID to really get his conditioning back and everything like that. But the passing out of the double team last game and this game has just been amazing. He hit Matisse Thybulle under the basket a couple of times. As soon as the Spurs bring that double from underneath, he hits the cutter in the middle of the court. The over-the-shoulder from the post, I don't think I've ever seen him do that in his career. I don't know about you guys. You can let me know if you've ever seen him do that before. I never seen him do it. And that's a scary thought for the NBA. That's a scary thought for the NBA. Joel Embiid, if Joel Embiid starts averaging 6, 7, 8 assists a game, what? Already unstoppable, right? Already completely unguardable. Couple guys in the league can give him some problems. You know what I mean? The biggest, the strongest of the guys, the Steven Adams type of players. But for the most part, 99% of the league can't guard the guy one-on-one. You got to bring the double. Nobody on this Spurs team actually stood a chance. We knew that from the jump. He was just going right to the rim. Half the time they moved the hell out of the way. But as dominant as he is offensively and defensively, physically, and the skill, the ball handling, the jump shot, all that, if this guy starts passing the ball like he just did in this game, a no-look over the shoulder from the post, that's scary for the league as far as I'm concerned. That's scary for the league. Where's the box score? What did Joel Embiid have? 31? 31, 9 rebounds. No, 31 and 12 and 7. 31, 12, and 7 assists. Almost another triple-double. He left the court a couple minutes early because slipped on the floor, looked like he could have hurt himself. Can we keep the floor dry, please? Well, we got a guy that every single game is like a hair away from tearing both ACLs. All right, so can we keep the floor dry, please? Thank you. So he slips. He leaves the court early. I think just to go back and maybe, I don't know, start getting rehab on his body and prepare for the next game or whatever. When's the next game? I don't even know. I'm so out of the loop, man. I've been out of the loop for a while, but it feels good to be back. 122 people in here. Thank you. Thank you for being in here. Thank you for all the welcome backs, all that stuff. Thank you for all the love, man. Who else we got to talk about, man? Charlie Brown? Should we talk about Charlie Brown? Hey, I'm mad that the YouTube channel was down when Tyler Johnson was signed by the Philadelphia 76ers, because you guys know that would have been an epic rant on the old YouTubes here if I was able to post a video when the 76ers signed Tyler Johnson. Thank God it only lasted 10 days. Well, I guess it couldn't have lasted longer. And now I turn on the TV watching Sixers and Spurs, and obviously I don't care. I don't keep up with where Tyler Johnson is or who he signs with, but Tyler Johnson's now playing for the Spurs. Every time I turn on my TV, I have to see Tyler Johnson's face. Meth Curry. Come on, get this guy the hell out of here already. How's he still in the NBA? Stu Vision, thank you for the $5 donation, my man. I give you shit on Twitter, but I'm glad you're back. No fraud zone. Philly, stand up. Thank you, man. Yeah, no fraud zone. I'm glad to be back. It's time to get back on the grind and start giving it to these people. You know what I mean? Start giving it raw and uncut. Not totally uncut, because YouTube will take me down for that, but, start giving those honest, 100% authentic opinions that some people don't like, some people don't want to hear. But Joel Embiid's amazing. Who knows what's going to happen with Ben Simmons? How are we? Nathaniel says, talk about Ben Simmons. You missed me talking about Ben Simmons? You had to go 2 months without somebody bitching and complaining about Ben Simmons. Well, here I am. There's nothing to say about Ben Simmons. The guy lost now $10 million in fines, which is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just said there's nothing to say about Ben Simmons. Of course there's things to say about Ben Simmons. This guy lost $10 million. He was so scared to come back and play in front of Philadelphia fans that he voluntarily lost $10 million. Wow. Imagine that. Imagine being that soft that you're going to pay $10 million of your own money to not have to play in front of Philadelphia fans. Wow. Zach, thank you for the $5 donation. Welcome back, bro. Run it back, nation. Thank you. Thank you. Tobias Harris did show up tonight. 9 for 12 he was. And, you know, of course I wasn't on YouTube when Tobias was doing the whole don't effing clap thing back to the fans, booing him. I guess I should give my opinion one more time on fans booing players because Julius Randle did it to the New York Knicks crowd last night. What is this? What is this? There's 3 places that I think are really, really, really blue-collar, hard-nosed sports towns that are probably not easy to play in front of. Philly, Boston, and New York. All right? If you're down by 25, the Knicks were down by 25 last night. If you're down by 25 and your team looks just out of it, winded, defeated, I think fans can sense a lack of effort, you know, and it's offensive. That's what it really is. When a fan's in an arena, when you paid to go there, you're wearing a jersey, you bought the ticket, you're spending all kinds of money, you drove an hour or whatever, you went through the hassle of parking your damn car in a stupid parking lot that you can't even, whatever. It's a mess. You go through all that to get there. You're sitting in a seat and you're witnessing a team that looks defeated. They look like they're not trying that hard. It's kind of, the fans feel slighted by that, and they start to boo. When you're down by 25 points in an NBA game, the fans who paid money and wasted time to come there aren't going to be very happy. They're going to boo. So you make a comeback, and you make a big bucket, and they cheer, and you give them a thumbs down. That's what Julius Randle did last night. Tobias Harris did the same thing, made a big bucket. The fans clap, and he says, don't fucking clap. Don't tell me what to do, Tobias Harris. Are you kidding me? I don't have a big issue with players like clapping back at the fans because, you know, it is what it is. We're allowed to say what we want. Players are allowed to say what they want, but it is kind of just this new generation of softness that they can't handle it. And, you know, if you ever have a question of, like, which opinion are we on here? Because I'm on Twitter a lot. Twitter's the softest damn app in the world. Twitter's the most just bunch of babies on the internet. You want to read a bunch of babies' opinions, go to Twitter. All right, so of course they're all on this. We shouldn't boo players. It just doesn't really help anything to boo players. Like, we should be encouraging them and lifting them up. And I'm not a freaking therapist. I'm a fan who paid to go to the game. Okay? If you ever want to know which side of that conversation you should be on, you ask some players that earned the love of the fans. Allen Iverson, ask him. He's never in a million years going to say fans shouldn't boo players. Ask Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper got booed. You know what he said? I played like shit tonight. I would have booed me too. Ask Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid said they could go on a 15-0 run. The other team scores, they might boo you. That's just Philly, and I love it. And when he commented on it with about Ben Simmons months ago, he said, some people just aren't built like that. And we know who that is. It's Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. And Danny Green. Which, by the way, Danny Green just interjects his opinion on things when nobody asked. Why do we always get Danny Green's opinion for some reason? Why? Because he has a podcast. If they didn't put Danny Green's podcast on NBC Sports on TV, if they didn't literally force people, my TV's already on. It's not like I said, let me turn on my TV to Danny Green's podcast. If they didn't put it on the TV and force you to see it, nobody would listen to that shit. Nobody. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning like, oh, I got to check out what Danny Green has to say. It's this new level of, like, arrogance from NBA players, whoever. Doc Rivers has a podcast now. Come on, man. But anyway, I just think eventually, like, they're going to be, you know, it's going to be like NBC News 10, and they're going to be covering a fire in South Philly, and they're going to be like, Danny Green's on the case with the details. Why is Danny Green there? George Niang has a podcast too, man. Wow. Listen, some players are actually entertaining. Some players have a personality and they're entertaining, and they would be great on a podcast. If Joel Embiid ever makes a podcast, that shit will be amazing. He's an entertaining guy. Danny Green is probably the second most boring person on the team besides Tobias Harris. So no thank you. Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves, I would listen to that dude 24/7. Funny guy. If you want to laugh, listen to him. Yeah, Maxey and Embiid on a podcast together would be amazing. Would be amazing. Every player on this team has a podcast. The Philadelphia Podcast. That's what we need to rename the team. I thought Seth Curry was great tonight in a point guard role without Maxey. Furkan and Seth playing point guard. Seth running a pick and roll, getting to his spots, using Drummond, using Embiid, dribble handoffs, all that stuff to get to the mid range, to get his threes. I thought Seth did a good job playing point guard. Tobias shot the ball well. We'll see if that keeps up. I hope it does. Again, Tobias Harris isn't ever going to do anything that blows your mind. He's not ever going to make a play that makes you say, wow. He's literally one of the most boring players, one of the most predictable players in the world, but he knows how to get to his shots and he knows how to get his shots off. He's just a make or miss player. If he goes 9 for 12, that's good. We'll take that. Sometimes he goes 3 for 18. You know what I mean? It's just Tobias Harris, whatever. This team still needs a lot. Obviously, the Spurs were undermanned. I'm glad we put them away. I want to say that about this game, too. I'm glad we put them away. They made a couple of little runs, but it never got like 76ers close. You know what I mean? Like the past couple of games have been, like the whole season's been really, like playing against teams that we have no business being close with. You know, never got to that level. We were up by 20. We'd go back to like 12, 11, kind of, and then make another run, go back up by 20. So we put away an undermanned team like we should have. Which leads me to the next rant that I've been wanting to get off. Doc Rivers battling the media yet again. Because a couple nights ago, Keith Pompey asked him, are you concerned when you go down to the wire with these undermanned teams? And Doc Rivers got mad about it, told him it's a stupid question, told him, it doesn't matter as long as we got the win. This is the NBA. Everybody's good. No, they're not. Don't lie to me. Doc Rivers is a liar. That's really what he is. So you spend a whole year battling the media and the fans over Ben Simmons, and now you're going to sit up here and tell me it's okay for you to go down to the wire against the Houston Rockets with, literally nobody on the floor. No, it's not okay. And he made it sound like a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. Because if you have a superstar and a very expensive roster that's supposed to be a championship contending team, and you're going down to the wire with the Rockets, then when you play good competition, you're going to get your ass kicked. That's why we're asking you, are you concerned? But, Doc Rivers is annoying. And for somebody that just asked, Kyle Craig, Dan Burke should be the head coach, no doubt. Yeah, look, we go 2 games with Dan Burke. The team looks great. We upset Brooklyn. Then we beat, who do we beat the next game? Houston? I can't remember. And it looked good. Tyrese Maxey dropped 25 against Brooklyn. The next game, Isaiah Joe goes for 21 minutes, 18 points off the bench. Have I not been screaming to play Isaiah Joe this entire season? Dan Burke comes in and says, hey, I have a talented basketball player on the bench who can dribble, pass, and shoot and play a little bit of defense. His name's Isaiah Joe. I'm going to play him. Now, what are the odds Doc Rivers gives this guy DNP after DNP after DNP, and Dan Burke comes in and gives him 21 minutes, and he drops 18 points? So, Dan Burke, Doc comes back from COVID, which, as a human being. Thank God he had no issues. Thank God he had no complications. But he comes back and, he's back to Doc Rivers. Last game he played Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond on the floor at the same time, which it ended up working, but I hated it. I know a lot of you guys hated that too. But this game, we finally looked like we put away a lesser team. We didn't let some no-name dude I've never heard of drop 38 points. We didn't let a bunch of guys from the, YMCA take us down to the wire. So we put away the team. We did what we were supposed to do. I was happy about it. I like Charlie Brown Jr. I didn't even think he was going to get time in this game. He played 12 minutes. I think that's a player. We need more of those kind of guys, young athletes who can get up and down the floor and just play ball. You know what I mean? Steals, handles, can shoot a little bit, can pass the ball. I'd like to see more guys like that on this team. I think this team is old and slow. So I'd like to see a lot more young guys like that get some time. Just put them on the floor, Doc. You know what I mean? Just put them on the floor. Furkan was 3 for 11 in this game, 1 for 6 from 3. I mean, at least he hit one of them. This is really the Joel Embiid versus everybody team. Without Joel, we're nothing. We're absolutely nothing without Joel. He's absolutely unbelievable. And I think he's the leader of the MVP race right now. And that's probably my next rant, the MVP race. Lone Trout, thank you for that donation. Welcome back. You were missed. By the way, you were wrong about Boston Scott. He's been clutch. We're not going Eagles in here, man. I can't do it. I can't handle it. I can't. I'm proud. I'm proud of that team. But Eagles fans are insane. Just absolute homers. Absolute homers. Do you want D Fox or Tyrese Halliburton? I think if you could pull off a trade for De'Aaron Fox and start him at point guard, I think Tyrese Maxey off the bench at 21 years old would be absolutely lightning. You know, and I think we all want Tyrese Maxey to be a starting point guard, but I just want everyone to kind of continue to remember how young he is, and I just think that would be unstoppable. De'Aaron Fox can't shoot. He wouldn't work on this team. He can shoot a little bit. He can shoot better than he used to. But I think that would make both units very strong. It's tough though, man. Like, did we really think this Ben Simmons thing was gonna linger as much as it actually has? Did anybody think it was gonna last this long? Like, when's it gonna end? When is it gonna end? When? Please get it over with. Get the Ben Simmons thing over with. What are we really doing here? Is it possible we can pull off Jaylen Brown? I don't think that's possible. Superhero, what's up, my man? Thanks for rocking with me, man. Patience is key. Well, listen, if it goes past the trade deadline, I don't even know what to say if it goes past the trade deadline. Like, I won't be able to handle that. I won't be able to handle if this goes past the trade deadline. Seriously. I know Daryl's playing hardball, but Joel Embiid is at his peak right now. Joel Embiid is at his peak. This guy it looks better right now than he's ever looked in his career. It's time to take advantage of it. Seriously, it's time. I think any team with Joel Embiid at this level is a contender to beat anybody. Seriously. He just needs the right supporting cast. You do need a second All-Star. I think you do need a second All-Star. I think, Seth Curry can be that guy sometimes, but he's Seth Curry. He has off nights. He's not a guy that's going to average 25. Maxey's just young. I think Maxey's a guy that can average 25 at some point in his career, but at 21 years old right now, he's going to be inconsistent also, still learning the way, still trying to balance being an attacking scoring guard and being a facilitator. I don't think Doc Rivers helps him out very much. He's in his head too much. He second guesses himself too much. As soon as Dan Burke came in, Tyrese Maxey had 18 field goal attempts. That's what you want. Tobias Harris, he's going to give you 18 to 23. Tonight he had 23. That's the peak for Tobias Harris. But, you know, if you can get that guy that averages 24 or 25, then this is a championship level team. But who is it? Who is it? Where is he? Where is he? Jaylen Brown would be absolutely perfect. I agree. But there's two problems there. The first problem there is, do the Celtics actually want anything to do with Ben Simmons? The second problem there is what I said a couple of minutes ago. There's 3 cities that are really hard to play in: Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. Ben Simmons. Okay, I just said this to somebody at the bar yesterday. If Ben Simmons gets traded to the Celtics, he's retiring. Period. Point blank. There's absolutely zero way. There is zero way Ben Simmons walks into the Boston Celtics arena. There's zero way. There's no way. That fan base hates Ben Simmons almost more than we do. He might as well, if he's going to go to Boston, he might as well come right back to Philly. Ben Simmons will get eaten alive in front of Boston Celtics fans. As soon as he catches the ball at the top of the key and doesn't shoot it, Boston Celtics fans would eat this dude alive. There's no way. Ben Simmons and Rich Paul would sit back and say, no, we are not accepting a trade to Boston. And if they forced the trade, Ben would retire. He would quit playing basketball forever. Seriously. So that's the problem with the Jaylen Brown thing. I would love to have Jaylen Brown, but I don't think there's any way in hell you can convince Ben Simmons to go to Boston. What a loser. What a loser. And then that makes you think, what is the right place for Ben Simmons? What is the right place? Does he want to go to a trash franchise like the Sacramento Kings and never win anything? Is that where he would be happy? Because apparently the Sixers being a contender was too much pressure on him, didn't give him time to develop. You know, we gave him 5 years, but apparently we didn't give him time to develop. So would he like to go to a losing franchise where he might never win anything, but we all know he doesn't care about winning anyway. He just wants to play and get paid, play his game, not be expected to develop anything? Maybe it's Sacramento. Maybe it's the Trailblazers. The Washington Wizards, hey, the Washington Wizards, that's a good one. For Beal. Man, it's really hard to even imagine Ben Simmons playing basketball again. It's really weird, honestly. I've never seen a player quit. I've never seen an NBA player quit playing basketball and just literally, nope, not playing. We're going to lose $10 million. Yeah, I'd rather lose $10 million than play basketball. That's crazy. That's so crazy. All you had to do was come out and shoot the damn ball. What about San Antonio? DeJounte Murray looked good in this game. And people throughout the season were saying that's not enough as a return for Ben Simmons. But, DeJounte had 27 points, 43% from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a good ball handler. He's good at finishing around the rim. He's a good passer. He had 9 assists. I mean, I'll take DeJounte Murray right now. Straight up. We overvalued, and I don't want to keep harping on the fact that I was right this whole time, but I was right this whole time. We overvalued the hell out of Ben Simmons. Right when the Atlanta Hawks series ended, everybody was talking about trading him, and I said, I said he doesn't have any trade value. A player that shows no heart no will, no interest in improving his game. And then on top of that, acts like a jackass, comes to practice with a phone in his pocket, gets kicked out and suspended, all because he had a press conference set up that he didn't want to take a part in, and then quit, refused to play in the Olympics. I mean, who wants that on their team? Because you got to think, if he did that to them, then as soon as this happens on my team, he's going to do that to me. So I just don't think teams are really going to give up a whole lot for Ben Simmons. You're not going to get the Daryl Morey, I'm sorry. You're not getting 4 players and 7 first-round picks. Give it a rest. If the Spurs say, hey, we'll give you DeJounte Murray for Ben Simmons right now, you do it right now. Halliburton and Buddy Hield? If you can get Halliburton and Buddy Hield, hell yeah, let's do it. I don't think the Kings want to give up. They already said they don't want to give up Halliburton. But again, a lot of you guys were right with waiting until the trade deadline because teams are going to get desperate. And you're absolutely right. And you're seeing it happen now. The talks ramp up more and more as you get closer to the trade deadline with the teams that are underperforming. The Kings, Jordan, you're right, man, and thank you for being a member of the channel. The Kings did come out and say no one is untouchable on the roster. And in the beginning of the season, they were saying De'Aaron Fox isn't available. They were saying Halliburton isn't available. And you guys were right. Wait till the trade deadline when these teams are doing absolutely nothing yet again. They're going to start to want to make some moves. Because a team like the Sacramento Kings, you look at and you say, okay, you don't want to give up these players. Then you get halfway through the season, closer to the trade deadline, and you say, look, you guys suck again, bro. Is this what you want to do every year? You want to keep these, but yeah, it's nice young talent, but you don't have anybody that moves the needle. You really want to do this every year and never be anything? No. They're going to give up some players, man. And John, I agree. I love seeing the Trailblazers losing, knowing that Dame stood with a bet. Exactly. He knew. Damian Lillard knew they didn't do anything this offseason. And they're not good. But I don't think Damian Lillard cares about winning. And I said that plenty of times before. He's just a guy that values other things like making rap albums. He did say he doesn't want to be known as a basketball player that raps. He wants to be known as a rapper. Okay. So if Damian Lillard never wins anything, but he has $200 million and a home studio, and he has enough money to get, Lil Wayne on his albums and shit like that, I think he's a happy guy. I really don't think he cares that much. I think he's very, very good at basketball, but I don't think he really cares about winning a championship. I just don't think it bothers him. And he said that before, straight up. He said, I'm going to try to win here. If I never win, it is what it is. So Dame ain't going anywhere unless the Blazers decide they need to part ways, but he might have a no-trade clause. So, they might not even be able to trade him if he doesn't want to get traded. So who does that leave us with? Bradley Beal. What are the Wizards doing? I know the Wizards were good at the beginning, decent at the beginning of the season. All right, they're 19-19. Kyle Kuzma, looks good some games. Another guy that could be very, very good, but I just don't think really puts into work. A lot of natural talent. He had a 35-point game the other night. That one they lost to the Bulls was crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the Sixers are going to do, but all right, so listen, guys. Here's what I need. Listen to this, okay? Just listen to this. I took a 7-leg parlay. All right. Let me log in real quick. Took a 7-leg parlay tonight. Just shot in the dark just for fun, okay? We hit 5 of them already, okay? We hit the Bucks over the Brooklyn Nets, Toronto over Utah, Chicago over Washington, Dallas over Houston, Minnesota over OKC. I got 3 games left. I got the Denver Nuggets over the Sacramento Kings, which is Denver's up 7 right now. I got Cleveland over Portland. Cleveland's up 2 right now. And the kicker is I took the Hawks over the Lakers. And the payout on this parlay is $1,860. I got 3 games left in an 8-game parlay. I hit 5. I hit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 1, 2, 3 games left. Is that 3 or 4? 1, 2, 3. I got 3 games left to win $1,860. So I need that good energy right now. I need the Hawks to upset the Lakers. I need the Cavs to beat the Blazers without Dame. They should be able to do that. And I need the Nuggets to beat the Kings. It shouldn't even be close. Woo! Wouldn't that be a way to return to doing YouTube? Win $2,000 on an NBA parlay. Yeah, that would. Bro, you're absolutely right. Lee Lamas, you're absolutely right. Well, that's a portion of how much money I actually lost in 2 months, but that would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice, man. Yeah, it's in LA, yeah. Man, it's great to be back, man. I'm sorry I'm just ranting. I didn't jot any notes down. I don't really have a show for you guys. I don't really think I'm going to take any call-ins because I've just been working and I'm tired and I you know what I mean? I don't know. And this game wasn't that exciting. It's the Spurs. It's not really that much to talk about. But it's just nice to be back, man. 191 people in here. Thank you guys for being in here, man. You guys are awesome. I don't know, man. Ask me questions in the comments about the NBA, about the Sixers, about the Eagles, about whatever, man. Can I scroll up? Somebody left a super chat. Jags to Riches, man. Thank you for that, man. Said, welcome back, brother. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here. So basically what's going to happen is every single Sixers game, I'm going to do the post-game live right here, and then the next day, I'm going to clip out the first, 15 minutes of the breakdown, for the people that don't get the chance to watch the whole live stream or don't want to sit here and try to find the part of the show that they want to hear. I post just the 15 minutes or so breakdown the next day, so that's going to be the formula. And I'll clip out other things that I think are good topics that I covered or whatever, and we'll see what happens, and we'll get the ball rolling again, man. How do you feel about Embiid's workload? Do you feel like it's too much? Honestly, he looks amazing. He looks amazing, man. And Dan Burke played him more than Doc Rivers does. And Dan even laughed in his postgame about that when he was in charge of the lineups when Doc was out. Embiid, he said he was rolling and I just left him in there. So I think in years past or certain seasons where Embiid was battling injury, sore knee, whatever, this, whatever that, I think the workload would have been too much, but this is, knock on frickin' wood, this is one of the healthiest seasons we've seen from Joel Embiid in his career so far, outside of him getting COVID and, being out for 2 weeks or whatever it was. But man, he looks healthy. He looks motivated. He looks like he has an incredible amount of stamina. Yeah, I don't think it's too much. He's in peak shape right now. I agree, man. I think he can handle it. I think he can handle it. Joel looks the fittest he's ever looked. He, in the NBA at least. He doesn't look like he looked in college. He was about 260 in college. He was 245 in college, I think. He's listed at 280. Honestly, he's probably 270 right now. Moet, yeah, we saw him go to the locker room early. He slipped on the floor. Kiki, what's up? Thanks for coming in, man. It's crazy. This is crazy. My lighting's not where I want it to be. It looks dark in here. I need a haircut. I got, I just popped up, man. But I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna get back in game shape. I'm gonna get back in game shape like Joel Embiid. That's what I'm gonna do. Lucas, he's 100% the slimmest he's been. He looks great, man. He looks great. And he's in the MVP race. He shouldn't even be behind anybody. I don't care what anybody says. Listen, oh yeah, here's my take. Here's my take on the MVP race right now. Because they had it listed, what I saw from NBA.com's MVP race, who'd they have ahead of Embiid? They had Giannis, they had Jokic, they had Durant, and then they had Joel Embiid at number 4. All right, so let me go ahead and break down why the 3 ahead of him shouldn't be ahead of him, okay? Most valuable player. The first thing you need to do when evaluating the most valuable player is easy. Is absolutely easy. How good is the team when that player's not on the floor? The Philadelphia 76ers are bottom of the NBA when Joel Embiid's not on the floor. Bottom. Absolute bottom of the NBA. They would be battling with the likes of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Kings. I mean, it would be Tobias Harris and Seth Curry out there leading the charge. Let's be serious. We did upset some teams during the COVID thing with Maxey balling out and all that. So, with Maxey there, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, what's the team look like with the player on the floor? What do they look like with the player off the floor? That's a real easy way for me to tell you Joel Embiid's number 1 in the MVP race. Giannis has Drew Holiday. Giannis has Chris Middleton. Giannis has the big Lopez boy that can shoot. They had DeMarcus Cousins on a, what was it, a 10-day? Not that counts, but I'm just saying he has a lot of help. Kevin Durant, I mean, come on. Why do we got to throw Kevin Durant in there all the time? I know he's one of the best players we've ever seen. I know he's one of the best players in the league. That doesn't mean he has to be in the MVP race. He has James Harden and Kyrie Irving part-time. Although, you know what? When I say what does the team look like with him or without him, the Nets without Durant are probably pretty trash, honestly. James Harden at his best can carry that team a little bit, but another reason Joel Embiid's number 1 in the MVP race is his offensive impact and his defensive impact. They don't take that into account enough. They just don't. And it's not even just blocked shots. Joel Embiid alters the other team's offense, period. His presence in the paint. If Joel Embiid couldn't play a lick of offense, he would still be a near max contract player as a defender. You know what I'm saying? Like Rudy Gobert level. Defender. Great at moving his feet. Great at reading the floor from a defensive perspective. Great at tracking the ball. Insane at getting his body out of the way and avoiding fouls and blocking shots. The guy's ridiculous defensively. That, to me, is probably the main reason why Joel Embiid's the MVP every year, as far as I'm concerned, until he retires. Because he's absolutely elite offensively, and he's absolutely elite defensively. Now he's passing the ball, finishing games with 10 assists, 7, 8 assists. He's out of this world. And when you think about offensive impact and defensive impact combined with the lack of a supporting cast, he's, by definition, the most valuable player. So there's that. Kiki, thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a member, man. Wow, I'm glad to be here. This is great. Oh, man. Not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little bit, out of sorts. It just feels weird. I'm not in the groove. You know what I mean? But I'll get there, man. Paul said, yo, East, where you been? Welcome back. All right, so since I talked about the game, I'll just give you a little rundown for anybody that still doesn't know. I had some false copyright infringement accusations that were total BS. I did not infringe on any copywritten material. And it took YouTube 2 months to realize that I was right. And we're back. Felt like it would never come back, but here it is. Took a long time. That 2 months felt like an eternity to me, but here we are. Talk about the Eagles, Calvin Ridley. All right, yeah. We can go birds before I get up out of here. You didn't cover why Jokic shouldn't be MVP over Embiid. Oh, that's easy. I say it all the time. The Denver Nuggets, and shout out to my guy Swipe a Cam. I know he's not in here because he's watching the Denver game. Sometimes he comes in a live stream, big Denver Nuggets guy, and I want to have a debate with him sometime about MVP. We were going to do it last season. We'll do it live this season. He'll come on the channel and we'll debate. But it's easy for me. The Denver Nuggets are literally better defensively when Jokic is on the bench. That's it for me. I think the guy's an absolute unicorn offensively. An absolute insanely talented player. Insanely talented. Can dribble, pass, and shoot. You can, to be able to run the offense through your center, his level of vision, passing, all of that is elite. Can't play defense. And if Joel Embiid wasn't in the NBA, sure, he might be the most valuable player. But you get a player like Joel Embiid that dominates the game on both sides of the floor, in my mind, he's always going to be the most valuable player over Jokic. Did he step up defensively? Besides, shoulder charging players in the back and giving them whiplash? Markieff Morris tweeted last night and said, who did he retweet? Mark Stein or somebody that said it's incredible, or it's shocking that he's still out. He's missed 30 games. And Markieff Morris said, it's not shocking. Imagine getting hit in the back by a 300-pound sloppy fat boy. He called Jokic a sloppy fat boy, man. That was funny as hell. Edward Worrell, what's up, man? Oh my God. What do I think of Charlie Brown? I think he's young, athletic, and I think the Sixers need more players like him. Okay, the Lakers are up by 13. This ain't looking good. Trae Young, where you at? If I come within one game of $1,860, I'm going to be defeated. I'm going to be defeated, man. I'm going to be defeated. The Lakers are up 13. 8-game parlay. I hit on 5. It looks like I hit on 7. The last one is the Hawks over the Lakers. And the Lakers are up 13 in the second quarter. Not happy about it. Not happy about it. But listen, before I get out of here, because I have been working a lot, and I got to work tomorrow morning too, and I don't know. I want to chill, get some extra sleep and stuff like that. Before I get out of here, and we'll get back into the live streams with the call-ins and all this stuff, man, very soon. But before I get out of here, I just want to give my opinion on who do you think will have a bigger impact, Klay Thompson or Kyrie Irving? Oh my God, Klay Thompson by a mile. Klay Thompson by a mile. I don't think Kyrie has that much of an impact at all on the Brooklyn Nets. I think Kyrie Irving's a great scorer, but I think they already have Kevin Durant and James Harden. It's one of those, it's kind of redundant to me. I've said it a million times. Look, they just got smacked by the Bucks. They were favored for some reason. The Brooklyn Nets were favored. They're always favored. Everybody still always acts like this is the most insanely talented team they've ever seen in their lives, and nobody's going to touch them. That's what ESPN says all day long. They don't take into account they have no bench, they have no supporting cast, they have no defense, they have no interior defense, they have no post defenders at all. I mean, Speedy Claxton's tall son, is that really your guy? You know what I mean? So again, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant can all go off for 30 points apiece. You got 90 points. What else do you got? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. I think they're insanely overrated. And it's just, I don't think I don't think they're this championship, like automatic championship contender like Max Kellerman and these guys always act like. We know we're going to be watching the Nets in the finals. How? What makes you think that? What have they shown you? I mean, the Bulls are first in the East right now, not the Nets. And then they play a great team in the Bucks, and they get smacked. I'm not impressed. They played without Kyrie tonight, so, but I don't think Kyrie really moves the needle that much. All right, Hawks are down 18. I don't like it. I'm actually about to lose a $2,000 parlay by one game. Man. All right, yeah, so before I get out of here, I guess I'll comment on the Philadelphia Eagles, and some people keep asking me about it. I was very negative on the Philadelphia Eagles this season. I said they're only going to win 5 games. I thought the defense was terrible, and the defense was terrible for most of the season until we started playing horrible, horrible teams and horrible quarterbacks. I mean, we're playing teams that are already bad, but they get hit by COVID and they're playing their 4th-string quarterback. Like, how am I supposed to be actually impressed by that? I will say the offensive line stayed healthy the whole season. That's something that had to happen. That's something I didn't anticipate. I anticipated the offensive line would be injured again. I kept saying they're old, they are injury-prone, whatever. I kept saying that's a reason that the Eagles aren't going to be good, is that offensive line is old and injury-prone. So shout out to the offensive line for staying healthy outside of Brandon Brooks again. But one of the best offensive lines in the game. Jalen Hurts, he can run. He can make plays with his legs. He can throw the ball here and there. His deep ball is absolutely horrendous. So I'm still, not sold on that. But I think just Nick Sirianni finally figured out how to call the game with a guy that can't throw a deep ball. And once he started making it a run-heavy offense, which should have been obvious in the beginning of the season, once he started making it a run-heavy offense and taking advantage of that really strong offensive line, we're better than the really, really bad teams we've been playing the second half of the season. And that's the thing. I just think Eagles fans you want to do this. You want to do this rah-rah Super Bowl every year. You got to be realistic here. As soon as we play a Justin Herbert, whoever else, even a Derek Carr, you know what I mean? As soon as we play a good team with a good quarterback, the last time we played 2 good quarterbacks in a row, we gave up back-to-back 40-point games. So I think Jalen Hurts has impressed me. I think Nick Sirianni impressed me with turning his play calling around and taking advantage of the offensive line and establishing a run game. So I am impressed, and I'm fine with being wrong about 5 wins. I'm fine with being wrong about 5 wins. But we're not beating anybody in the playoffs. But I will say it's impressive that they got to the playoffs. I'll say that. I will say that. Because if they were absolute dog shit like I thought they were going to be, we would have been losing to these teams like the Washington football team and the New York Giants and the Jets. So they're better than I thought they were going to be, but we don't need to be out here, rah-rah, we can beat anybody in the league and all that stuff. Like, come on, man. Come on. And yeah, Jalen Hurts' long passes are knuckleballs. They're just so bad. They're just so off target all the time. So 20 yards short. And I don't think he's ever going to have a deep ball because I don't know, man. He looks like he struggles to throw it. Like, he looks like he has small hands. So I realistically, and I don't want to be that guy, that negative guy, but realistically, I think Jalen Hurts, it will be pretty much a career backup, be a great backup quarterback, a guy that can get the ball in the end zone. But I want that big pocket passer that can launch it down the field, man. That's what I want. Keith Gordon, thank you for that. Fox Halley and one of our picks to the Celtics, Simmons to the Kings, and Brown to the Sixers. That's interesting. That's a good way to look at that, too, because I was saying Ben Simmons, he'll retire instead of going to Boston, and I still think he will. But if you can work a 3-team trade like that and get Ben Simmons up out of here to the Kings, get Fox to the Celtics, and get Jaylen Brown to the Sixers, I'm all for that. I really hope Daryl Morey pulls off something magical like that. I really hope we're not let down, man. I really hope we're not. Oh, man, it's great to be back, man. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are awesome. Run It Back Nation. We're going to get back in the groove. We're going to get back in the groove, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Run It Back Philly, and I don't need your intro. Peace and love, my friends.